yeah, I still do this here and there. Funny to relate, computers still work well enough to play games. So as I booted up my computer just a bit ago, Windows decided that there was some critical error somewhere, and it gave me this big blue screen that had a QR code on it and said, we're rectifying the situation. It's like it was logging something while it was telling me that it was restarting my device. It said device, it didn't say PC. Windows is no longer capable of detecting whether or not the software is running on a PC or on the old Windows phones that they don't make anymore. I don't understand their choice of wording, but I do know that the screen was only up for about 5 seconds, which is not long enough for me to open up my phone and even grab a screenshot, much less do anything with that QR code. Hello, kept silent. I have kept silent about Windows long enough. I despise Windows. Absolutely 100%. I need a sip of coffee. Watch my character model disappear as I try to drink. Delish. So, if you're looking to play games, Windows is great. It is literally good for nothing else at this point. Anything that Windows does, you can do on Linux. Anything. It is only games that Windows exists for at this point. And the worst part about it, almost all of that stuff that you can do on both Windows and Linux is free on Linux. Don't tell anyone. Half of it's free on Windows now. You can download OpenOffice and LibreOffice and write books if you want on Windows. But, I mean, I wouldn't recommend it because the computer will just restart on you in the middle of you working on something. It's, yeah, I know a lot of people don't have personal issues with Windows. And the thing about it is, overall, as a system, it is great. And it is much better than when, like back in the Windows 98 days. Like Windows 95, that was, earlier stuff, and Windows 3. Nobody expected much out of them. By Windows 98, people had expectations. And there were lots of crashes, there were lots of problems, things going wrong. A lot of it was memory issues, which are memory issues should be nothing for a computer today, with the exception of two things. One, running games that are running at a really, 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 really high quality rate and using a lot of memory. Or two, you're running a supercomputer that's crunching numbers and the computer can't handle it because you didn't calculate out how much you were going to need or how many computers you would need. There's literally no memory problems that computers should be having these days. The reason that you get a lot of crashes due to memory is because of the ways that the actual electronics work. So you get a system of these timing circuits. I believe we called them flip-flops back in the day. And the switches would turn on and off and on and off and on and off, and they were all being activated electrically, usually through a system of diodes that were creating electrical barriers and using those to allow or not allow current to pass through. And what would happen is they would have very precise and very good timing, but it wasn't 100% accurate. And that wasn't bad. It just meant that over time you would have this buildup of slight mistimings until one single switch would not switch at the right time. And there could be anything from a memory dump to just a complete freeze up where something that's expected to happen doesn't, and so the machine gets locked into a state in which it cannot really do anything until the user interacts with it. So on the electrical level, that's kind of what was happening back in the old days of crashes. Now, there's a lot of systems they built since then that are designed specifically to route around those problems. And for some reason, uh, we have been able to get past that, but we still build operating systems with so much excess stuff that we don't need that Windows just has problems it can't even identify to you, the user, when you're not connected to the internet and nothing strange has happened. I literally just turned the machine on There wasn't even anything. There shouldn't have been anything booted up into the memory, but what was in, I don't know. Do they still call it the start folder at this point? I don't know. But it doesn't matter. It's like if you're doing important work and you can't rely on the system to stay on, like for all I know, 5 years from now, if you lose your internet connection, even if you're doing all of your work offline, Windows is going to be like, holy crap, I better restart your internet connection. There seems to be a problem, and it might be the computer, but we're just guessing, but whatever. I and if you're not using Microsoft Word, like Microsoft Word will automatically save for you before you do that, but if you're using anything else, it's just like, oops, sorry, you lost everything. Should have used Microsoft Word. These programs are insufferable and intolerable. And on the one hand, I kind of like the Apple approach where it's like everything is it's all Apple, it's all one system, because I used to use a Commodore 64 and that was its own environment, minuscule as it could be compared to something like Apple. But nowadays when everything is so easy to access, uh, it, that shouldn't be the case. Like you shouldn't have to be connected to the internet to use the offline mode in Google Docs, and yet you do. To view a document that I have saved offline on my phone, I have to have my connection uh, to my cellular network to be able to get Google Docs to even open up. And it's like I thought maybe it was just because I was using an old version, but I bought a newer phone and then it still had that problem. But then I had other people telling me that no, you can actually do that. You can look at offline documents. Uh, and I was like, well, what? Like with one of those apps that reads doc files or whatever you save it as, you can like display it. It's like, yeah, sure. But they're like, no, 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 Google Docs. You can use it right off of Google Docs. I tried a million times, a million different ways. There's not that many options in the menu to go through to figure it out. It just wasn't there. Everything about technology right now is so much more convenient than it was 20 to 30 years ago, when I was first using computers. And yet everything seems to have these gaping problems that we never had back then. It's really, really strange because they all seem like simple fixes. And I think the majority of those problems all seem to stem from everyone wanting to be able to keep you in their specific environment and get you to use things that you have to pay subscriptions for. It is a microtransaction world, and it is far from micro annoying. What's the what's the word? It's supra annoying, not super annoying. We're a few stages beyond that now. That being said, and this is what it's all building to here, but now I'm not done. I'm not done ranting yet. You're right. It wouldn't surprise me either. Kept silent. It wouldn't surprise me a tad, because I was having a conversation with my brother, because unbeknownst to everyone that's um, here with us tonight for my TED Talk, I'm an actual human being with a family that I talk to, and so I'm talking with my brother, and we're talking about how every video game system since basically the PS3, you run the risk of, like 10 years from now, if I were to buy a PS3 and a PS3 game, it's very possible, and and it gets worse as you go from PS3 to PS4 to PS5. But even with PS3, it's very possible that you could buy a game 10 years from now and the system, but the system won't have gotten the updates it needs to play that game, which is a non-issue for virtually every machine that existed at a time before that. Now, there's a lot of good and a lot of bad that can be said about these constant patches and updates and living in this world that is uh, operates on the ability to get updates whenever you need them for things. There's a certain amount of things I think that we don't need updates for, like people who have their toasters connected uh, to the internet. Your toaster should not need a firmware update. If it does, you're doing toast wrong, and the person who built that is doing engineering wrong. It's not that tricky to heat up a coil and to have a little knob that sets how hot and for how long the coil is going to stay heated. I mean, this is like Dark Ages stuff. We were doing this in medieval times. Uh, but yeah, you buy a game, you buy a system. You're not going to be retro gaming PS5 games 10 years from now, 20 years from now. That's just not going to happen. And the only funny thing that I can really say about that is, at least up until the point at which you can no longer even access games, like hard copies or software copies of games, so that people can just make emulators and run them off emulators. Up until the point where that is no longer possible, basically everything from now going back, people will just give up and be like, I'm just gonna emulate it. Someone will eventually build an emulator for the PS5, and any software that you could have access to for the PS5, someone will have reverse engineered a way to play it on a PC in the far future. If we're still calling them PCs at that point, because there's nothing personal about computers these days. Uh, I'm sitting here in front of a PC, enjoying myself a little bit, talking through a webcam that was easy to set up and a microphone that was fairly easy to set up, but apparently, according to a podcast partner I have a lot of popping sound on my side. Haven't been able to fix that yet. Can't figure out if it's the computer or my mixer. Whatever, doesn't matter. But Windows sure as heck doesn't detect that problem. Something that would actually be useful. Can't say I blame them. Might just be an analog problem. Might just be a bad wire. But it's very frustrating when I think about it after opening up my computer, only to find that, I got to restart right after turning it on because there was an error that was detected before the. I mean, was I even past the boot up for the BIOS at that point? Like, what are you doing, Windows? Keep up here. Come on. You're way faster than the computer I had when I was, 10. I don't know. It's pretty funny. I've talked about this with my friends a lot, and we're of the opinion that the best way to work in the future is to do anything important on a simply set up Linux box, and Windows is just for gaming, which is cool. I mean, Windows is hands down, in my opinion, the superior gaming platform. I don't think any of the new consoles are as good as playing on PC. I don't think most of the last gen consoles were as good as the PCs of that time. And I've been playing computer games since Apple II times, and honestly, I had more fun the few occasions when I would go to my cousins and play on their Apple II computer than I had when I would sit down and play games on the Atari or the Nintendo. And yes, I'm that old. Kept silent knows I bother him with facts about old video games all the time. But yes, it had me looking at a few interesting things. Now here's what I will say. This isn't just. I don't like Microsoft much as a company, but I won't say everything they do is just bad. Uh, oh yeah, you can set up virtual Windows machines in Linux. I don't know how well Linux would handle a virtual Windows 11 machine. Although, to be honest, most Windows 10 machines can't handle a Windows 11 machine because the software is exceedingly bloated for what it does. Like, it got too fancy with its looks and it forgot what a computer was meant to be for. You are an operating system that exists for me to load up other software that I want to use. The OS itself does not have to be the most gorgeous thing on the face of the planet. Like, that's a specialized thing. There should be a Windows 3D virtual box thing. That should be like their big $3,000 program that they sell you, so you can be the cool kid on the block with all these fancy things that nobody else can do with their computer, that are basically all just there for looks. And, for the few people that want to do something like scientific research and calculation. I'm not even sure about that anymore. A lot of laboratories probably use Linux for a lot of things. I have a friend who's a scientist who says that Python is used in a lot of things, which it's a lot easier to set up a Python programming machine on Linux since it's usually built in most cases. And I think the battery for my headset just died. So let me see if I can remedy that by Taking my controller cord, jamming this in my ear. I'm not going to be able to find it without looking. Let's see here. I would also like to point out that not having things that charge, or having things that charge all the time, is the quickest way for complete dopes like me to forget what I'm doing when I'm in the middle of something. Yes, I am a digital being. I just put the cords right in my ear, which a digital being wouldn't be able to do. So, totally making the sense here. Virtual cord, virtual person. But no, I've got a wireless headset, and I have a USB cord that I keep on my desk for the Xbox controller, which I use to play games. And I use wireless controllers, so actually I hope the game that I've set up to play here in a bit doesn't use controllers. It's a visual novel, so I should just be able to get through the game pressing nothing but the spacebar. However, there's still a lot of fun things to talk about when it comes to modern technology. Like, I've been looking at picking... Oh, okay, so good things about Windows. Like I said, superb for gaming. I enjoy no games that I have more than the ones that I fish through and play on my computer, especially since I can go all the way back to those great Apple II days and jump forward to the modern indie era of both incredibly cool retro stuff and fresh new ideas. And you know, there may be like a AAA game in there, one or two of them that are still semi-okay somewhere, maybe. Kept Silent actually found an interesting game that I tried out yesterday. Withering Rooms, which I almost couldn't find because I thought... I recalled everything wrong because I'm old and senile. I thought it was Withering Dungeon. That's what I was looking for. And then I was looking for Withering Ruins. And then I finally just found the search query in Steam for Withering Rooms. And it's pretty neat. I like dodging under tables from monsters that are chasing me, but I also like having the option to chop... The option? The option? What is option? That's going to be... I am Aption Muppy. That is my new superhero name. Yeah, the option of chopping up some monsters with an axe. I love the concept of running around as a little Victorian girl trapped in a nightmare world, carrying a butcher's axe and a shield, and being pursued endlessly by monsters while trying to figure out how to escape this fun nightmare. That, of course, is not what I'm going to be playing, since that's not a visual novel. But I was looking at a couple of the new portables out, and my God, where was this stuff when I was a kid? You know, we've had a few cool things kicking around. Oh, you're looking for retro-style indie games similar to PS1 games. Well, I can fully recommend Pseudo Regalia. It is it's like, what if at the time of PS1... It's got a very PS1 look to it, but it's got such a smooth control system. I mean, we're talking like I would have killed for those kind of controls back in the early PS1 days. One of the best 3D games on the original PlayStation, I would say, was Jumping Flash. Not because it was like the greatest game ever, but because it was one of the few games that actually tried to figure out a good way to do platforming in 3D. And it was kind of slow running. It was a slow burn to get through. Had fun music. Very trippy game. But you would jump up in the air in this giant 3D robot bunny suit, and the camera would automatically look down for you so you could see where you were landing, which meant that the game also had to have you jumping really slow so it had time to turn the camera and gave you time to position your fall. I think most people would agree that true 3D platforming didn't really begin until Mario 64, but Jumping Flash was an excellent first attempt. It just wasn't as smooth platforming as you would have liked back then. Pseudo Regalia is exactly that. It looks like a PS1 game. It has lots of fun variations to the controls that make the platforming really interesting. And I hadn't felt quite as good playing a 3D platformer in a long time as I did playing Pseudo Regalia. Now, I'm not sure how good the game is overall. I played, maybe 3 or 4 hours into it. It looks like you get a lot of cool little upgrades and everything, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. It's got a lot of puzzle solving elements to it. A lot of the puzzle solving is backtracking into other rooms and having to kind of keep a mental map of where you've been and what you've done and things you've seen, which can make it a little annoying at times, but it works. It works really well. Especially, I don't even think it cost that much. I think it was a $20 game. That game would have been $49.99 back in PlayStation 1 days. And it would have been half the size and slightly worse graphics, and the jumping would have been atrocious. Yeah, being born at the tail end of PS1, it does mean you missed out on a lot of the games that kind of set the stage for where gaming would go over the next couple decades. But if you had that PS2 era, boy, did you hit some golden years. I mean, there are still probably more good games on the PS2 than maybe any other system. And it's not even my favorite system. That's just plain fact. Like, a lot of people would say that the Dreamcast was nothing compared to the PS2. I personally like the Dreamcast better. It reminded me a lot of the Neo Geo, which, that system was contemporary with like the Sega Genesis and the Super Nintendo. But the games on it were arcade quality for the arcades at the time. And everything about it was super expensive. The cartridges were like $200 a piece, so virtually nobody had these. And a lot of it was fighting games. The Dreamcast sort of went the same route, where it felt like it had a lot of really good gems, but it had a lot of fighting games. That was a big thing on the Dreamcast. Like, that was the best way to play Marvel 2 when it came out. Nothing else would run it as good. And I don't even think it was on anything for years until years after its release on the Dreamcast. It had a lot of the old King of Fighters games from the Neo Geo, which kind of made it also feel like a newer Neo Geo. And it had this remarkable little 3D fighting game, like a party game that a few people may remember, called Power Stone and Power Stone 2. The only two entries in a series that, for my money, is worth more than Smash Brothers. In full fairness, I would say that both the Power Stone games I enjoyed more than any Smash Brothers game, save for the one on GameCube, which to me was peak Smash Brothers. So that's a nice trip down memory lane. It's kind of fun to reflect on this stuff every once in a while, and to get most of my talking out of the way while my throat still works. I can already feel it going on me. Another sip of coffee's in order. Another shrinking muppy. Yeah, I love these conversations. So I see that I need to check out something called Lunacid now. There's actually a lot of old games I want to go back and check out, and we've sort of hit a gaming era where it's perfect for me to do that, because I'm just not impressed with any of the newer stuff. Like, basically, I'm not seeing much beyond people trying to impress me with game trailers at this point. And so I've been sticking with nothing but indie games and going back and playing old games. Like, I picked up an Analog Duo to play old PC Engine and Super CD games, because I never had a TurboGrafx growing up. And one of my friends had it, and I just remember, like, when I was younger, I thought it was the coolest thing. Like, playing Bonk's Adventure, I had so much fun with Bonk's Adventure. I probably had more fun on the few occasions I played that game than maybe even Super Mario Brothers 3, which for the longest time was like one of the only games I would play because it was just so much fun to replay it over and over and over again. But that game, Bonk's Adventure, kind of like it was one of maybe 4 games I played for the TurboGrafx as a kid, and I really didn't touch TurboGrafx games again until probably like 2005. You know, playing some like other people had old systems that I knew, and there was a lot of what do we call it, emulation at the time that you could check out. So I got a better taste for it, and I will say that the quality of games is kind of dependent on what the system can do. There's definitely a lot to the PC Engine, the PC Engine came out here as TurboGrafx, but in Japan it was called PC Engine, and there were some games for it that had frame rate issues with scrolling that made it look real choppy. That you didn't really get too much of that on NES games or Sega Master System games. So it was it made sense that it didn't catch on here as well. Gaming was already an acquired taste in Japan by the time it really started to take off here, so that's kind of not a surprise. Let's see. Lunacid plays like Kingsfield and Shadow Tower. I've never played Shadow Tower. Me and my brother love Kingsfield, partly for how corny some of it feels, but also because it was like a precursor to the first time I played Morrowind, and I never realized just how much I wanted to finish Kingsfield until I played Morrowind, and then I was like, oh, I remember a game like this. Obviously, Morrowind was not as complex, or Kingsfield was not as complex as Morrowind, but had weird monsters in it, and just a lot of like, kind of in the same way that things looked creepy in Morrowind, things in Kingsfield, everything you ran into was just this big weird fest that kind of made it fun to sit down and play in a dark room, especially if it was raining outside. That was always my favorite way to play. Like, I remember pouring hours into the original Suikoden. Anytime it would rain, I would go into my room and close the blinds and turn off the lights and kind of turn the volume down low so I would hear the rain almost on an equal level with the game sound. It was a fun way to play. But yeah, there's so much to go back to. I ordered a whole stack of PC Engine games, and I've been using them to practice reading Japanese. We missed out on the Japanese stuff for the most part back then. A lot of what comes out there never, even today, a lot doesn't come out here that they release in Japan, but way more back then. It was just like we got a tenth of the games that came out in Japan. The Tenchi games. The Tenchi games for what? I'm not aware of any Tenchi games past the Sega Saturn. Or do you mean Tenchu? You mean the ninja game? Yeah, because I have one of the Tenchi Muyo episode/visual novel games for the Sega Saturn, but I feel like that's not what you're talking about. Or maybe there's a Tenchi series I'm not really aware of. Yeah, Tenchu is really fun. But I've only ever played the first 2, and my brother's a big fan of them. He's played a lot more of them. I think. Well, they're all assassin ones. I remember the first one being a very fun mission-based, kind of point-based game, and we had a lot of fun with this. I've told this story before to several people, but one of the things my brother always liked to do in that game, there's in the first mission, I believe, there's this character that you're supposed to break into his home and assassinate him. and it when you get to him, there's a cut scene where he falls to the ground and is like crawling away from you and saying no, please. And my brother found out that you can booby trap that room before you set foot in it with like some of the fire traps that were in the game and caltrops and a bunch of things. And so he would do that. And then he would enter the cutscene. And the cutscene was not an actual FMV. It was the cutscene actually took place inside, like it wasn't a pre-rendered cutscene. It took place inside the game. So this guy would just be crawling over these fire traps, and they would burst into flames, and he'd be sitting there begging you not to kill him while on fire. It was glorious, and it's one of the things that kind of sucks about modern games when they're like, "Oh, that's a bug. We should fix that." There's so much fun to be had when you discover things like that. But yeah, I can definitely say that we had a lot of fun with Tenchu. The controls probably leave something to be desired by today's standards, but it worked well back then. You know, again, a lot of they solved a lot of the problems of it not having good platforming by having a grappling hook that kind of let you position yourself a little easier in the game. There's that was I mean, I'm not going to say that's like the first stealth game ever made. It was one of the ones that really made the whole stealth genre catch on. Like, I don't remember playing anything before that where stealth was particularly important. I know I missed a lot of the PC games of the time where that was more of a thing. Like that was like Thief was a game that required a lot of stealth, and so was Deus Ex. But I was playing PlayStation at the time that PC gamers were playing that. Uh, I kind of went from being a Nintendo and Apple II computer game person to strictly console by the PlayStation era, and then probably by PS3 I was getting way back into PC gaming. But it's all fun. There really is, even if it's got bad controls and even if it seems a bit clunky, there's still a lot to go back to that has a lot to offer. I mean, you could still have fun with games like Tenchu, especially if you're like one of the biggest problems of being my age is not having enough time to sit there and just goof off and do things like I used to in those games. Because when I was in high school and I didn't really have much else but like a part-time job and you know, things to study that I never really did, I would spend hours in games like Twisted Metal with my brother, and we would just look for ways to ram the cars through a couple of separated polygons on the map to get outside the maps so that we could drive around and usually just goof off, but sometimes complete missions by cheating. I remember the original Twisted Metal and the original Warhawk were both really good for that. And that's what we would do. We had time to kill. If we weren't yucking it up on the Commodore 64 trying to find goofy games to play, we were looking for games that would let us do weird things like that. There was a game called PO'd, supposed to be kind of a Doom style game where you played as a chef who was in a building during, I believe, an alien invasion, and there were cheat codes for it that you could input to where you could get infinite rocket pack ammo, and you could turn off collision detection. So you could arm yourself with a frying pan, rocket yourself at enemies through walls, and swing your frying pan at them to take them out while hurtling towards them at 50 miles an hour. It was a fantastic feeling, and it's something that a lot of games nowadays are just one button pre-programmed to do. It's like, press this button, you will dash into this enemy and do a strike, and it will knock the enemy out. And it can feel satisfying at times. Like if a game is put together well to where the controls make you feel like you're part of the action. It is fun, but it also means that you can't just goof around with it anymore. It's not just a thing. It's like, oh, I figured out a way how to do this. Here's some funny thing that I'm going to try. And now it's just press a button and you can do the funny thing that you might have tried to figure out if you weren't feeling up to just playing the game at the moment. So like, no matter what you're doing, you're playing the game now. And oh, the frustration of playing games where you know that there's levels that would be fun to goof around in, but they put you on such a track that you're not able to do things like that. That's one of the really, really interesting and fun things to do when you go back to old PS1 games. Look for that kind of thing. But that said, I think I've ranted enough about video games and Windows, and I'm going to try and play a bit of a game and hope I don't get a blue screen. I don't know if my headset is actually on. I think I remembered to turn it on. I guess I'm going to find out when the music in this game starts. So let me see if I can get this rolling. I'm going to run some outdoor adventures with Marisa Kirisame. And I am not hearing sound, but I don't know if there is any yet. Holy cow. Look at all this. All of it's on the bottom of the screen. Was this... This was made in Visual Novel Maker, wasn't it? I started making a game in Visual Novel Maker, and I didn't like the setup. Like, I couldn't figure out how to... It wouldn't let me turn off the menu pop-up thing for the configuration and the loading and saving. Yeah, I don't know if there's any music in this game yet. Or maybe I have it turned down too low. Let's see. I always turn it down low because Windows is weird. No, it doesn't look like... Okay, no sound yet. So let's see. It's an ordinary day out in the woods. The sun doth shine, and the gentle breeze of the forest. Cool, crisp air, nothing short of refreshing, but there was one thing that stood out. Something that made the day truly special. You're alive. You should be happy for that. Oh, here we go. I'm hearing sound now. Marisa was here. Oh my god, are we playing this game from the perspective of someone hanging out with Marisa? That would be so cool. I'll makanine your dakara. She never told me exactly what she took me out here for. I had trusted her completely for the most part. Yeah, I mean, she's a crazy witch and all. Why not? Oh, listen to them beats. This is not boding well, this music. Don't tire out on me. Ah, well, she's only interested in one thing. You know, my ranting kind of took my voice away, so I'm going to say I am actually pretty tired. Although I wasn't particularly tired, I decided to humor her a bit. That's what you do with the Marisa. I suppose I could have at least taken you on my magic broom for a bit longer. I'm confused as to what base this is supposed to be. Like most of the residents of Gensokyo, she had the ability to fly. She can only fly with broomsticks, though. Oh, no, she didn't say Baccarat. Isn't that a card game? Baklava. She wasn't entirely opposed to flying me there. We both decided it would be better to take the more scenic route first. You know, I'm going to go ahead and say that flying over a forest on a broomstick is every bit equally as scenic as walking through the woods. I mean, I've flown before. It's pretty scenic. Yeah, kept silent. If you think you hear Japanese incorrectly, I've been speaking it for so long and I still can't make out half of what I hear. Yeah, also, I worked at the airport, so that might not be helping. I'm sure you know exactly what we're looking for. I have my suspicions, Marisa. I have my suspicions. I had no idea what I was supposed to see, but I was sure Marisa couldn't resist telling me if I waited a short while. Although if I had to guess... mushrooms, yokai, rare books. I'm in on the rare book field trip. Nope. She gets her fill at the Scarlet Devil Mansion. Merely borrowing the books from that place. Yeah, she's... Those books have a longer return time than I used to have when I actually knew someone that worked at the library that would eliminate all my fees. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Wait a minute. No, I'm not even gonna make the obvious joke here. Yes, mushroom picking is pretty boring, but if you've got a Marisa along with you, well, I mean, something might explode. Tasty food to powerful magic potions to steam engines. For today, we're going to use them for food. In a stew, to be precise. Well, I mean, I'll give her this. Witches are pretty good with a cauldron. Let's see. I want to say that sounds gross, but I actually like mushrooms. You darn tootin'. What? But I can be a pretty good cook. Well, I mean, you look mostly like you can. You just need to lose the witch's hat for a toque. This is Marisa Kirisame speaking into my mushroom microphone. VTube in my way to your hearts. I've prepared some meals for Reimu, Sakuya, and the others at parties. That absolutely knocked their socks off. Questionable mushrooms. Of course, I had some help. So Marisa's one of the people in Gensokyo who has the ability to get along with everyone. Is that canon? I think I have a comic where Reimu slapped her once. No. It was that crazy kitsune that is always impersonating people that they tackled. My friend, you just became one of her stories about adventures with friends. Get ready for some, let's just say you're going to be dodging bullets. We're looking for Mario mushrooms. For the most part, they don't affect your mind and senses. I think I can trust Marisa with this, he said naively. You know what? I'm just assuming that it's a he. But knowing Gensokyo, I'm willing to bet that's probably not the case. This is a Toho game. What am I saying? It's time. Yeah, we're just gonna make some broad assumptions about what's going on here. Take a good look at the pattern. This is what we're looking for. Do I have to match this exactly? Okay, so 1 dot in the middle, 2 on the bottom, 1 down here, and 2 up here. I thought this was just a visual novel. Why am I trying to map this out? There's actually a species very similar that... Oh, jeez. Ominous. I have an ominous foreboding. Ooh. The Vampire Masquerade novels. Visual novels are on sale for $2 each. I think I have them, though. You have to be very careful not to inhale the spores of certain kinds of mushrooms. That's how Nausicaa died. The side effects can range anywhere from death or even worse, priapism? 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 Okay, I read a lot of books, up to and including the dictionary. I've never seen this word before in my life. This has to be like a Toho canon word or some medical term that I've never heard of. Third of all, you have to... get away. I could tell this was going to take a while, but I did my best to listen. She's just talking in that Charlie Brown teacher voice. That's all we're hearing. 100th of all, she kept count. My God. You have to never cut certain kinds of mushrooms open, for therein lies the devil. Could release their deadly toxins and kill you, or even worse, give you up. Wait a minute. I'm looking this word up. I can't not look this word up now. Be with you in a moment. I must know. Well, that's something I'm not saying on stream. I'll leave that one to your imaginations. Certain bits of that information I'm definitely going to retain. I would also like to know how many of those 100 included that word. And again, I'm questioning the motivations for being brought out here. Oh, buddy. 2 or more exclamations is definitely a bad sign. She's gonna know you're lying. Yeah, you should have given us the rules for picking the deadly things before going out and picking the deadly things. But don't worry, we got this. We're gonna survive this. I know, isn't it a funny word? I wouldn't be here if she wasn't the person I like after all, regardless of how head-on she can be. Sometimes Marisa is applied directly to the forehead. Why am I here? Yes, you pick the mushrooms, I'll supervise. What kind of outdoorsy thing would I like to do besides pick mushrooms? I mean, there's so little to choose from. I'm gonna chop firewood. Can I chop the firewood? My mind raced to one thing and one thing only. Disc golf. Oh my God, I totally forgot. This game has a fishing DLC.
Okay.
Then it's settled. Take your time fishing. I will make stew. Yummy, yummy. I couldn't separate from my comfort animal, Marisa. Yes, the lake would be suitable for fishing. It will be far more suitable than the mushroom-covered dirt that we are now standing in, Marisa. Thank you for that little tidbit. You have been incredibly helpful. I wish you luck on your exams, and hopefully you make it into the special school. I nodded, and with that, we temporarily parted ways. I found the lake Marisa mentioned. She didn't even tell you where it was? You had to search for it? I had to search for it? This is my perspective, right? That's what we're playing in this game? He's using Cherno as bait. I don't know who we're playing as, but I love this person. Most premium fishing rod and lure for this occasion. You fantastic person. made use of the deafening silence by... In the middle of the forest, you have deafening silence? That's... Someone's trying to assassinate you, dude. Quotes and philosophies related to fishing. Drowning is also a deeper immersion. Fishing is exactly casting a hook in the water. It doesn't matter if the rod is or isn't bent. Time spent fishing is time spent well. You know, the idea that Cherno is actually the bobber, and so you get to watch Cherno drown when the fish takes the bite. Somehow that is actually relaxing. I still have a few more quotes. Men go fishing their entire lives without realizing it's not the fish they're after. These aren't the droids you're looking for. Who was that? Sun Tzu? How could they not be attracted to this premium lure I spent $200 on? Oh boy, who sold it to you? They saw you coming a mile away. Did you catch a loli, or is that the bobber? As I gradually calmed down, I heard some gentle footsteps trotting through the grassy area behind me. I told you you were being assassinated. To my pleasant surprise, it was none other than... Youkai! You know, the person that you came here with that was very close by. Why do they keep saying plant myself here? She's like literally just a head sticking up out of the ground. There's no tag for who's saying it. I'm assuming that she's just saying her own name when she sits down. She's just like backing up to the tree and plopping down like, Marisa, that's me. I managed to safely get a ton of mushrooms for the stew. What about you? Catch any fish yet? This game so wants to be another type of game without admitting it. Yeah, massive fish all day. You missed. I threw them all back. None of them were good enough because I only catch the biggest fish. Oh my god, I can lie to her. They're right behind your ear. Are we having our first fight? Maybe it's your equipment. My god, this game. It couldn't be my equipment. Nevertheless, I showed Marisa my 100% authentic premium fishing rod and lure. I swear to God. Fish should be showing up at your door. What, like Noonsa? It's nice to have Marisa reassure me like that. I guess she knows a thing or two about fishing herself. Do not let her cast spells at the lake. She's going to cast spells at the lake, isn't she? She's like, fish are the enemy of all mankind. The river. Is it a river now? Oh, thank God. Well, rainbow trout apparently didn't stick around long enough to be a savior for this lake. We got some yokai issues. She's casting a spell at the lake. This is everything I warned you about. Eliminate the lake, just to be sure. I knew Marisa was about to get serious. Yeah, what was the giveaway? What exactly gave that away? I found the nearest tree behind her and made a beeline towards it. Dude, she's about to take out a lake. That tree is not going to provide you cover from anything. This is the most made-up inside-my-head yokai of all time. Is there only one voice actor for this game? I mean, it's just a Shinku Hadouken. If I click, something's going to explode. If there was a yokai in that river, it would surely be long dead right about now. There's a yokai, and there's a yokai, and there's a yokai. That's not the sun setting. Well, I guess we're just not going to discuss the war crime we just committed against the people of Fish Lakea. Don't have faith in Marisa. Oh my god, was this all just like her sales funnel technique to get me to buy stuff? I recall Marisa talking about her house earlier a few days ago. I'm kind of curious what's inside. She just told you. It's seen better days, but if I'm totally honest, I can't draw that well. You put spider cobwebs in your potions. Well, Marisa is living in America. American Sokyo. I bet you're wondering what's inside of my house. I would assume your living quarters. Okay. What's inside the house, Marisa? A submarine. There's only one option that I can pick here. The only one that makes any sense whatsoever. The only one that I could see someone actually keeping in their house. Tell me about your pet rocket. This is the thing I want to know most. No, I want to know about the rocket. What exactly is Marisa Elon Musking up in her house? Okay, just for the record, I checked the tags for this game and it did not say hentai. So I think we're safe. It was twilight and it was in clear view. Well, not twilight. Twilight's in the morning, isn't it? What's it called in the evening? Is there a name for it? Dusk? Careful, there might be a yokai in that fire. See, I should have been chopping firewood. We huddled around the campfire. Perhaps it was due to the ambience. But oh, I'm sorry, the ambiance. But things suddenly got more intimate. It was not tagged hentai. She's just like, so, banging? Yeah, that was a rough day of fishing. Really took it out of me, the hour or so that I was fishing before you blew up the lake and we collected all the fish. Gensokyo really, really needs a DNR. What does she mean she had a lot of fun hanging out with me? The first thing we did was separate, and I sat at a lake. I did have a lot of fun. You weren't there. You're only as strong as your weakest link. That doesn't bode well for me at all. I'm a VTuber. The same is true when you're out with another person. You only get to have as much fun as they are. Did I read that wrong? You only get to have as much fun as they are having. You only get in the amount that the other party, i.e. the interlocutor, is having. That amount, that specific amount, much, very much, you can have, but no more, no less. 4 slugs from a 44. I don't know. If Marisa didn't have any fun, then I wouldn't have either. You were literally separated, having fun. Well, of course it's essential for you. You're trapped in a time management game. I always have to live in the moment and not worry about my past or future. Everybody knows that Marisa does not worry about her future, and I don't think she has very good long-term memory. Again, this was not tagged hentai. Where are we going with this? Oh, okay, she's just going to be depressed. That's better. That's better than what I thought. She's not a huge fan of her past. Past life with her father. So you ran away from home. There should be a pamphlet for this. So you ran away to Gensokyo. It's just funny how I can get along with everyone in Gensokyo. Yokai, human, ghost, Oni, vengeful spirit. Well, did you try blowing up less lakes? He didn't know. He didn't like how I practiced magic. Mom always took his side. It's either us or the magic. Okay, well, I mean, answer's pretty simple there, isn't it? Yeah, it wasn't as easy as, say, frying a lake. Oh my god, this is like when you go on Twitter and you're having a good conversation with someone and then they just feel like they can unload on you. This is one of them. Man, it was a perfect day. Well, here's why I have depression. Couldn't you just buy an F-150 like most people? In this moment, I knew exactly what to say. Why do I get the feeling I'm about to get a dialogue option? The past defines you pretty hardcore. After blowing up a lake, we're sitting around a campfire talking about her depression. She literally ran away. It's like entirely her fault. I'm gonna go with the past doesn't define you. She was not robbed. Oh my god. She became a witch. She was not robbed of a childhood. She has a skill. Oh my god. I was in 5th grade and I taught myself to program video games on a Commodore 64. My childhood wasn't stolen. It also didn't shape me into the amazing person I am today. Your friends here in Gensokyo couldn't be more proud of you. I couldn't be more proud. Well, wouldn't you count as one of her friends in Gensokyo? As I finished my little speech, Marisa's eyes brightened up and her sweet smile glistened before my eyes. Thanks a bunch, haha. I only ever mentioned this stuff with a few people before. It's on Wikipedia, Marisa. I didn't? I feel like I was stuck here. I feel like I had to do this. It was not my pleasure. We'll go with this. Yep. Real sweetie. That's me, alright. Got it in 1. I ought to return the favor. Oh, this is where it becomes a hentai. Anything about yourself you want me to know. It can be anything at all. I'm all ears and ready to support you. I cannot wait to see the dialogue selection for this one. Well, at least I didn't make her angry. What? She does not have a response for that. I refuse to believe it. Wait, why is that why we're here? Only to awake, to find that she had turned you into a turtle and now keeps you in an aquarium. That's our Marisa. Dude, how did you go to sleep with that? I trained for years to be able to sleep in a way in which I could wake up if anyone was trying to kill me. There's no way, absolutely no way I'm going to sleep with... And buy her a comb, my god. Suddenly, I would find myself in a strange place. Suddenly, it would be that I would be found to be finding myself within a strange place. Oh my god. Oh my god, we're in Umineko. How did that happen? Well, she is a witch. Are we having a witch's tea party? Is this game about to become 1,000,000 times better than I thought it would be? Border between the dream world and the real world. That's kind... Oh my god. Please let this turn into Umineko. Please tell me that she's killed me 100 times in a storybook. It seems you've died in your sleep. Would you like to play again? This is a very strange mix of Toho music. Yes, this is best left to the imagination. I can keep pretending this is Umineko. It's even got some piano music. This is perfect. Is this one of those fake email games? That's a message from the outside world? I suddenly feel like this game is... This game is a graphics artist that is trying to get commissions from me through the channel. That is hilarious. I feel got. You got me. You got me. That is pretty cool, though. So this game is just going to show me fan art from Twitter now. Oh no, she's not hiking. That's, she's getting her skis ready. Well, I'll tell you why you look so mad. You have a hiking stick and an oar, and you can't find your boat. Are we supposed to be writing headcanon for this? I said no, don't blow up the lake, Marisa. Don't do that, whatever you do. Not scared to climb, scared to climb. I was marginally late. Yes, being tardy always irritates people. Very true. I hate to tell you, Marisa, but I'm probably like, 2 decades too old for you. Flan Vanilla on Twitter. Oh my god. This is the one. This is... Is there a way I can... I need to screenshot this. I'm making this my desktop background. Interesting. So the game has actually got a built-in screenshot resistance. I tried to do a screenshot, and you didn't see it. It didn't show up in OBS when I looked, but it popped up another screen from earlier in the game so that I couldn't take a screenshot using print screen. However, Steam's screenshot worked very well, so I'll be able to make this my desktop background. This is about as good as I can draw. Marisa sitting on the log. What will she do? She will become a bump on the log, and then she will go bump in the night. And then she will stand up and fry that lake and all the fish in it. I'm following that person. What was it? Was it Oboehead64? I hope that they do tons of artwork like that. Twitter. Oh, this account doesn't exist. That is so lame. I've been lied to. Well, if we stay here, do we just keep looking at fan art? Let's try it. Oh. It's just a loop. Big loop. It doesn't matter which way I go. I suddenly found myself awake. Why did we wake up hovering over Marisa? That's not what this image is showing at all. Are we playing a deluded individual? This does not look like any type of... I mean, it... No. Wait, that... So this image is what we're actually seeing. There was no embrace. I must have read something wrong. How do I... Let's go back. No, I didn't. I did not. Okay. Peace would be short-lived, though, because I would soon witness a very startled Marisa wake up before... Well, yeah, you're hovering over her like you're about to George Floyd her. She's fully dressed. Is that how that works? Did you not put anything in the refrigerator? It's only been a few hours. I gotta say, that's a fantastic picture of Marisa. Step aside, Marisa. Let a man handle this. Oh, wait, we still don't know. Yeah, that's... We're not playing from a gender-specific point of view, are we? I'm gonna keep assuming that this is some weird Marisa lesbian love relationship. Marisa pepped her right up. Wait, bolt the door. Wah, wah, wah. You didn't get to try my soup. Get lost. I'm bolting the door. Oh, is this one of those really short visual novels? Yes, we had stew. That is the something special. Oh, okay, we're back at the title screen. Well, that was fun. I mean, I had fun. I don't know if anyone else did. I did. Well, let's have a look-see. So, let's see if the fishing game is any fun. See if I can get that to pop up here. All right. Oh, why is it moving? Why is it in 3D? Is this broken? Start. Done been a while since I last saw Marisa. Yes, that's what we did. We went fishing. The cool breeze, the strange nightmare world where we looked at fan art on Twitter. She made the day truly special. But I wonder, what is Marisa up to? It sounded like something important, so I went as fast as I could. And I arrived with 2 broken ankles.
Yaha!
Yikes. I better turn that sound down. Gotta calm down there, Mario. Mario. All right, let's do us some fishing. Looks like you got the memo. Well, it was a message. That is really loud, isn't it? No, Muppy, you're just old. Just in time, too. I'm not going to blow up a lake this time. What exactly was so important? You know, I started the game. I'm pretty sure it's fishing. I see what you did there, the real way. It's really good. I mean, at least we're acknowledging that Marisa exploded the crap out of the thing that is simultaneously a lake and it's Schrodinger's river. Hope we can actually catch something this time. We caught a lot last time. Had to kill a man to get this fishing rod. She stole it. Just borrowing it till I die. That's the Marisa way. That's a good line, actually. Well, she practiced fishing while she was weighing for us. what was fed? We just got here. The premium lure that you used. It worked like a charm. Oh, Marisa, you're the worst. That cost me 11 quid, governor. A fishing competition. I like where this is going. I'll start sending the fake emails. Why would... No, we're doing this. This is what we came here for. My body is ready. Let's do this. It's fishing time. This'll oughta make the fish go wild, maybe, he said conditionally. Here's the basics of the game. So karate chop the fish, got it. Use your mouse to reposition your fishing rod. Use your mouse left click when the rod is positioned on a fish. Oh, just like real fishing. When it hooks to the fish, you will go in a situation named real time. I like the idea that fishing in Gensokyo is more about tossing a hook and trying to hook the fish instead of trying to get it to bite the hook. Mash the spacebar button to overpower the fish so you could reel it in quick. Oh, you're all going to love this. My spacebar is really, really loud. Some fish are not the same as one another. Mash quickly. Some fish are not the same as one another. Mash quickly. Some fish are not the same as one another. Mash quickly. I could read that all day. Show her what you're made of. More challenging than Dark Souls. So there's at least one more kind of fish, right? Can I catch a yokai? You got the high score. Oh. It's a Mari shark. We caught a beluga whale, she says, as it's gnawing on her arm. Even so, even so, the fishing score is all that counts. We call it same. Yes, we also call it shark. Same. Same. No, its Japanese name is Sam. That's actually quite astute. How did it survive Marisa's attack yesterday? Yeah, let's return the shark to the wild. That could be it. It could be that there was a shark in the water scaring everything else away in this tiny lake where it shouldn't be. Let's hold Marisa's head underwater until she has brains. We're done. We just got here. Let's grill go these first. I'm hungry. I agree. Let's grill all the go. And it's nighttime again. Lay it on me. How much did I kick your butt by? What do you mean I did it? You done caught so many fishes that I can't even count. I got to 3, and then it got difficult. What are you, Cherno? And then she murders you for not letting her win. This is the bad ending. Yes, whereas the ones you caught looked like tiny, tiny babies. You're eating babies, Marisa. I could say the same on when they're on the skewers. Yep, spice does add flavor. The outside is crispy and not too dry. A little mutually exclusive, but okay. What's your recipe? Fire. She put the spices on the inside. That's her recipe. Aw. Oh wait, did I cook them? I wasn't even paying attention to who was talking. Ew, thanks. You the best, homeboy. Next time we fish, but upside down. Scarlet Devil Mansion. I'm sure you'll get along with it. I am not going to sit between Marisa and Reimu. Oh yeah, we can handle Alice. Not so next door neighbor. Nate Boar. Did that say Nate? That said Nate Boar. Oh, now it doesn't have the menu. She must be getting pale with all that staying indoors. You know, not one to judge, Marisa, but you're looking a little toothpastey yourself. Ah, great. This is slowly working its way towards hentai. Have you ever met other yokai before? Wait, are we a yokai? Or what about meeting the Reimu? Yes, let us meet the Reimu. I'm a big fan of the Reimu. She's a bit grumpy at times, but you'll get along with her. People who use adjectives as nouns ought to be shot. Oh, the image wasn't found. That sucks. Grills mug dropless 2 not found. You can't just drop a bombshell on Marisa like this. It's actually appropriate. Any adventure, anytime. And then Marisa's just like, thank you, imaginary friend in my head, and that's the plot twist. Oh yeah, big thumbs up, totally. I'll be there at your next soiree. Can't wait for whatever takes us next. Ooh, sounds like a kidnapping. And with that, I look forward to whatever wacky adventures I may find with Marisa. Here's the title screen. Sudden title screen. Why does it do this? I don't understand. Yeah. Did I mention Windows sucks? Yeah, it's got a parallax screen. It's actually kind of cool looking. It's kind of fun. Ah, parallaxing. Trigonometry at its finest. Well, let's see. What else can I kill some time with? See if I can dig up something on the old games library. Be gone, title screen. Oh, I have so many games, most of which I'm probably never going to finish, some of which I never should have bought, many of which aren't actually any good. But what would top off the night really well? Do I have any more visual novels? Oh. I have a game called Arafel. I'm going to play through all of that right now. No, I'm just kidding. Tomb Raider 3 Remastered. Yeah, how are you enjoying those? I know you were telling me that, I think we were talking about the second one last time. You said was pretty good. Oh, I have nothing in my games library that is nice and short. Factorio is definitely not something to start at this moment in time. Labyrinth of Toho. That's incredibly long, apparently. Metal Unit. Oh. Oh, I know. See if I can remember what it's called. You ever just forget the names of games that you like in your Steam library? Let's see. Did this work? Doesn't look like it's working. Click on screen. There we go. Oh, wait. I'm a fool. Can I unplug my headphones yet? They should keep it charged. This should be enough. Okay. Plug in my controller. Let's see. I've never actually streamed this one, so I don't want to start in the middle of a game I've already played. Let's start a new data. Limited lives, knock back upon damage, harken back to the retro days of yore. Yeah, do not recite the deep magic to me, buddy. Arg those siblings. Oh, the anger, the rage. Hi, Satania. I didn't care if you're demon hunters or not. No one has the right to mess with my business this much. Well, she's an arms dealer. I see what you did there. Again. God, you girls and your puns. Well. Corona is tripping balls. Just wears the mask to school. Just passive-aggressive to see him. Well, anyway, onward to school. Oh no. Oh no. We're in Frankenmuth. Has to be the work of a demon, because I said so. I mean, it's definitely the work of something supernatural. You can tell because of the bats, and the existence of a thing that wasn't there before in an alternate dimension that looks really, really spooky. It's demon hunting time. Yeah, Castlevania describes this place pretty well. The demon world just looks a little baroque, that's all. They never had Victorian Day in high school. That's true. One of the head family's tomes. Nope, no human has ever set foot in the demon realm. Just you two women. Let's step it up a notch.
Time for some demon hunting.
Hello, tutorial. The board says there appears to be writing on this board. Anti-demon submachine gun. Now that's class. Stuff.
Reloaded. Get in there. Yeah. No dodging this. Reloaded.
Powerful close-range attacks. This is a Metroidvania game. I think it is. I'm not 100% sure. You do find extra items that help you out throughout the game, but it's mostly Castlevania-ish. Oh, I'm not controlling the character at this point. It's been a while since I played. I don't actually remember everything that happened. What you got for me, board? Resuscitated through the use of CPR. Oh, right. So if you die, you can catch up to where you were and resuscitate your partner.
Leave it to me. This. No dodging this.
As he dodges.
Anti-demon machine gun. That hit the spot. Reloaded. Maya, leave it to me.
Save point. Certain enemy attacks and projectiles can be evaded by crouching. Yes, if you're shorter, you can walk while crouching. But if you're tall, you have to sit perfectly still.
One, two. One. It's the spot.
Gotta have Medusa heads.
Leave it to me. No escape. Get in there. No escape. Tag in. Leave it to me. Shinobu, leave it to me. Eat this. Reload it. Get in there. Eat this. Eat this.
I didn't have to jump.
Reload it. No escape. This. This is for you. Eat this. Tag in. Leave it to me. Change. Okay. Your turn. Leave it to me. My turn. Anti-venom machine gun. Reload it. Tag in. Leave it to me. Take this. Change. Okay. Red. Reload it. Tag in. Got it. Here. Here. One, two. Take this. Okay.
Tricky. I don't think I can get that yet.
My turn.
Alright, give me that save point. Who do I get to kill?
It's the change. Leave it to me. Tag in. Got it. Take this. My turn. Your turn. Leave it to me. Shinobu, leave it to me. My way. Tag in. Aye, aye, sir. One, two.
Well, if I can wall jump, I can't do it yet.
Tag in. Got it. One, two. Change. Leave it to me. No escape. Eat this. Maya.
Well, I guess I earned that one.
I'll be right there, Maya. Eat this! Yeah. Pull yourself together, Maya. I'm okay now. Tag in! Got it! Leave it to me! Anti-Xeno machine gun! Ah!
That was my avant-garde use of the jump button.
Wait for me, Shinobu! Huh. Take this! Sorry, I can't go on. Evil demons will be punished! You're out! Leave it to me! Get in there! Yeah! Ah! Yeah! Get in there! Lock and load! Yeah! Yeah! Red! Keep going! Lock and load! Yeah! Yeah! My way! Lock and load!
Locking and loading.
Yeah!
The world needs more hovering platforms, placed conveniently by items that I can take.
Yeah! No dodging this! Yeah! You're stiff, G! Yeah! Yeah! That hit the spot!
I guess that was just health.
Your turn! Leave it to me!
Alright, have at it. Oh, they went back to the real world for a second. They summoned the power of their high school. So that didn't help any. Oh geez, I remember being really bad at this boss.
It's the spot.
Incoming. Picking up something on radar. Your head's in a kitsune mask. Or a devil mask. It wiggled at me. I can hit the bats. Wait for me, you idiot. Give her a gun and she can't handle it. What is this nonsense? Wow, Maya, we did really bad there. Hello, I am antagonist. Listen, we know you want that to be your catchphrase. And when we find you, we're going to pummel you senseless. Oh no, she's been corrupted by demons. Maya, she is a demon. It's almost like they stole Dracula's power from Castlevania. Shut up, Maya, shut up. Are we going to Wily's castle? So the cafeteria should be right around. Oh yeah, they're all dead. They weren't demon hunting ninjas.
Time for some demon hunting. Hit this! Hit this! Can't take another machine gun! Hit no escape! Lock and load! Maya! Got it!
That's not creepy. We'll steal their life force.
I'm so scared. Go hide somewhere safe.
Or stay there. That's fine too. All right. Well, this is a fun game. And it has my full recommendation. It's a very, very fun Castlevania wannabe game. It feels like it's a sequel to a game because of the dialogue, but I don't really recall seeing another game that predated this one. I'll have to check the store page. But yeah, Gal Guardians is pretty fun. All in all, if I had to say what did we learn today, I would say that Windows is very annoying. Good day.